This is a behavioral science product critique of Routinery, the self-care routine. They say based on behavioral science, so they're really pushing this behavioral science angle, the behavioral science like credibility angle really hard. Let's see, 2 million worldwide. So they're just trying to show you, the potential user, that they have a ton of users. They're using a social proof angle here. Interesting. They also have this 2022 app of the day. In my mind, that's probably just as impactful. So I'd probably make that a little bigger. But let's see here. So they have a screenshot of drinking water, 1 minute timer, it looks like, with a check mark. It's hard to tell, but it does seem like that it's a glorified to-do list, at least from these screenshots so far. So build routines, create a routine list, add habits, add a detailed habit, start timer, just do it in order. Get inspired, explore the routines, recommend. So add habits easily, feedback, how did you feel today, analysis, analyze your routines. Okay, interesting. So let's open this up and see what's up. So it says, make your life simple. Routinery's behavioral science timer has changed the lives of 2 million people around the world. Great. So then there's this cute button that says hello. What difficulties do you have? I can't concentrate on one thing. I do something else during my work. I can't finish my work on time. I make an excessive plan. There is a lack of time concept. These last two are a little confusing. Make an excessive plan. There's a lack of time concept. It's a little strange. I am often forget what is important. So just some bad grammar here. Just these things are not well written. Morning is busy. It is difficult to motivate myself. I fall asleep late. I postponed what to do. I am often be late. I can't afford it in my heart. So they definitely should hire a copy editor or somebody to go through all these items and fix them, make them less awkward, more understandable. So I think that would be my first bit of feedback. I'll just choose a couple. I'll say I can't concentrate on one thing. I'll just choose some random ones. So I'll say that. I'll pick, it is difficult to motivate myself, and morning is busy. I'm just choosing 3 just totally random ones. Great. Shall we start now? Let's see, name. Okay, cool. I'll sign up. Okay. Wait, before we start, routine to do. Routine equals an order of to-dos. Morning routine equals make bed, drink water, check today's schedule. Okay, great. So they're defining what a routine is, which I guess is like the core element inside of the app. I do think, once again, they should probably hire a copy editor, just rewrite some of the stuff, make it a little clearer. Now it says, nice to meet you, Jason. Experience the routine with the tutorial. Let's look at this quick tutorial. Looks like they have a spacing issue, right, where it keeps, looks like there's an issue with the text spanning the width. So it just keeps snapping between being the 2 words being stacked versus side by side. So that's something they 100% need to fix. Routine name. In addition to morning and evening routines, use them for study, exercise, work, and more. So it looks like you can create your own routine types and name them. Get notified when it's time for your routine, so you can set a timer. Order of to-do. Try adding time in order. It's okay to be inaccurate at first. Routine typer. Are you ready to start? Just try without thinking. Timer notice push, invoice notification when the time is up. There's also an auto skip option. Okay.
Make bed is over. Move on to drink water.
Pause and skip has a change from your plans. You can pause or change the order. Okay, interesting. Making bed took 59 seconds. Drinking water took 49 seconds. Consider goals took 1 minute, 9 seconds. Interesting. Okay. Basically what this application is you're creating to-do lists that are bundled together into these things called routines. You set a time of day for each routine, and then you get notifications when it's time to do these to-do items, these regular to-do items, and there's a timer that kind of times you as you're doing each to-do item, and then it tells you when it's time to move on to the next one. So it seems like that's the app in a nutshell. Looks like they have I guess for different, interesting. So they have like routines of famous people. Let's see what they say for Jeff Bezos. Do nothing, read the newspaper, drink coffee, work out, cook breakfast, eat breakfast with the family. Okay, it's nice. Miracle Morning is popular, which is make bed, meditation, affirmations, visualization, treadmill or walk, shower, reading and writing. Analysis, so I'm assuming that they give you an analysis of, like which days you did it, your streak, how many times you've done it, how long it takes you, the average in general, when do you start, and then how long did it take you to complete the item. And then it has your profile section. Let's go through the process of creating a new routine. I'm going to call it work out. We'll say it's a weekday routine, start time. Let's say, it's weird that they default this to midnight. Let's just say 10 a.m. every morning. I want a reminder frequency. Let's see. 1 time, 5 times. I don't really get what this means. Like, I thought I was creating a routine, but it seems like I may be creating a task, actually, a to-do item. So let's see, voice notification. What are these? When the to-do timer ends, you can hear a voice. Time for drinking water's over. Move on to study. That's nice. Timer type default. So make and add to-dos. Okay, yeah. So I was creating a routine. So I don't really understand what the frequency thing means. So just, I think some bad UX there. Good habits at the start of the day. This is nice that they give you some suggestions. Cool. Let me click add. So you can just create new to-dos. So let's say, I'll say cardio for 1 hour. Add. Okay, so 1 hour, 1 minute. Duration 1 hour, 1 minute. Context. So I guess you can add context. Interesting. So you can add stuff like location, websites. You can add a note, auto next. When the to-do timer ends, the next to-do will start automatically. That's cool. Okay. This all makes sense. This is supposed to be a behavioral science-driven habit app. And I do think actually it's overall there's some UX issues, there's some UI issues, there's some copywriting issues. But overall, I think that it does a pretty good job of just doing the simple thing it's tasked with. I guess zooming out a little bit, if you just look at kind of behavior in general and you say, okay, what needs to happen in order for a behavior to occur? Really, 3 things need to come together, right? You need a certain level of motivation, like you actually, like to do a particular behavior, you have to actually care about the behavior. You actually are going to have to want to do it on some level, to some degree. In order to do a behavior, you have to be able to do the behavior. You have to have the ability to do the behavior, and then you have to remember to do the behavior. These three elements coming together, it's called the FOG behavior model. So the FOG behavior model it's also known as B equals MAT. So behavior equals motivation plus ability plus trigger. So according to the FOG behavior model, these three things need to come together in any given moment in order for a behavior to occur. So if a behavior is not occurring, it's either because motivation is too low, it's either because ability is too low in that context, or it's because you just forgot to do the behavior. You weren't called upon either by some bodily sensation or by another person or by a cue in the environment to do that behavior. And so really what this app is doing is it's acting as a trigger delivery mechanism. You are creating reminders, you are creating triggers for yourself for all the different things that you want to do throughout the day, and all these things are bundled into routines. And so at a particular time of day, in the morning, you will be cued, you will be triggered by this app to the 2, 3, 4, or 5 things you picked to do each morning. And then if you create another routine, let's say in the afternoon, you will be triggered, you will be cued to do that bundle of behaviors in the afternoon, and so on and so forth. And then, so yeah, that's really what this application is doing, is it's acting as a trigger delivery mechanism to send you like triggers to engage in these bundles of behaviors. It's not really doing much, if anything, to make these behaviors easier for you, right? It's not making it easier for you to make coffee or to make your bed or to exercise. So it's doing nothing there. And it's not really doing anything in terms of motivation. You could make an argument that on this page, on the analysis page, that some of this information could be motivating, right? It could be motivating for you to see your current streak for a particular routine or behavior. It could be motivating to see how many times you've done it overall. But I would say that those signals, that information is going to be somewhat motivating, but not super motivating. So really, this application is just a trigger delivery application. It's just a reminder application. So from a habit formation, behavior change point of view, in a perfect world, you would want the product or the service that you're offering to remind, motivate, and make the behaviors that you want to do easier. You want your behavior changing, your habit formation application to do all three. So this application only does one of the three things. It does that one thing pretty well. It's pretty elegant. There are some UX issues, but overall, I would say that it does the trigger thing pretty well. But the one issue I do have with it is that it seems like the application forces you to create these things called routines. And a routine is multiple different actions, multiple different activities bundled together. When in actuality, I feel like in many ways an app like Apple's Reminders app, I believe it's called, I forget what it's called. Let me see. Is it Reminders? Yeah, Apple's Reminders app actually, I think in many ways could do a better job at triggering than this app, because the Reminders app doesn't force you to bundle things together into these chains of activities called routines, right? Apple's Reminders app just lets you pick a single to-do or a single action that you want to get reminded about at a specific time every day, and then you can set that to the reminder to repeat every day. So yeah, I guess the Apple Reminders app doesn't give you these stats around your streaks, how many times you've done particular things, etc. At least I don't believe it does, and it doesn't suggest routines to you, but it is I think, more flexible, lightweight version of this. It doesn't do the timer stuff, but my hunch is that the timer functionality that this app provides is not very useful. If anything, it would probably just be stressful because, you know, having a timer that says you only have 5 minutes to get dressed in the morning, and is that really all that helpful? At the end of that, if it says now going on, okay, getting dressed period over, now time to go make coffee. If it takes you 2 extra minutes to get dressed that morning, but the timer's already moved on to the coffee phase, I think that would just be unpleasant and stressful. You'd feel like you're getting rushed and hassled. So I think, if anything, that the timer functionality is probably just pretty annoying and not all that helpful. So I think that this app is very good at providing an extra little reminder for people around the behaviors that they should be doing or that they want to do, but that overall it's quite incomplete from a behavioral science point of view, and it's quite incomplete from a habit formation point of view. And so overall, I think that there's a lot to be desired here. I don't think that this application, I doubt it's all that effective at really helping people form new habits or stick with desired behaviors.